Avinash Tiwari, and I'm one of the co-founder of Smart Software Testing Solutions. The company owns the product pCloudy.com, which is one of the leading mobile application testing platform. As far as my experience goes, I have overall 18 years of experience, and all through my career, I have been passionate about solving testing problems. So I started my journey with HCL, then worked for Oracle, then founded a testing services company. And then 4 years back, we started the journey into the product space where we wanted to solve the testing problems by creating right kind of testing platforms. So I have worked extensively in the software testing industry, solving problems around test automation, test strategies, and then have been involved extensively in the product development. So that's been my overall journey and quick introduction. It's been quite a journey. I would say, like any entrepreneur's journey, it has been full of excitement, full of discoveries, a lot of ups and downs as well. So have been through all those phases. But if I try to summarize it, as I said in the beginning, being a technology guy, I always liked solving the problem through technology. And when we saw testing in the early days of 2000, 2004, 2005, when I started my career in the corporate world, um, the, the overall testing was very manual. There was not much of usage of tools. There was a lot of scope of improving the efficiency by bringing in certain technology element, by creating certain kind of small utilities. So that's where I think the thought started, that how can we improve the overall testing within the enterprises by bringing in more technology element. And that thought led to the creation of our first company, Crestec Software Systems, where we started providing testing services to the companies. And the focus was IP-led services, where we would not just worry about providing them the resources. The idea was to give them IPs or the technology so that they improve their testing in a longer term. So that was the genesis of our first company. And then over a period of time, when we understood the customer problems much more deeply, when we were providing them testing services, we realized that there is a lot of scope of creating products in the space of testing, which can transform the way testing is being done right now. And then that led to the second company, which is Smart Software Testing, where we have created this product pCloudy.com to solve the challenges of mobile app teams. Absolutely, it's a completely different world. Sitting on the other side of table, where you have to take those decisions, which can impact lot many people who are dependent on you. So the responsibilities are much more than what you have in the typical corporate setup. So there are, especially in the product space, the challenges are quite different. The first is creating a product which is accepted by customers globally. I mean, that's one of the big challenge when we think about the product. Because in today's world, you can't create a product for a specific group of people, right? When you create, it has to be the best of world, where you can compete with the best of companies. For example, in our case, we are competing with Amazons and Google. So you have to create a product which is best in the world. So you need the best of talent. You need to create that vision where the talent sticks with you. And then, of course, getting those initial set of customers, making them trust on the product, is one of the biggest, I would say, initial challenges. But once you cross that, once the customers start trusting your product, then the job becomes much more easier, because in a product, then the word of mouth, the exponential scale that you can hit is much easier than other kind of businesses. So once your customers start liking your product, then your job becomes very, I mean, much simpler. It's never easy, but it's much simpler. So getting that initial trust of customers, getting those early adopters of your product is one of the biggest challenge one faces in the product company. And we also went through the same journey. No, absolutely. So what we have seen recently in last few years, and the recent event of COVID has completely changed the game. So every enterprise today is looking at digital transformation, right? The push towards digital channels has never been like this, and it's going to be there for foreseeable future that we see. And when we talk about digital channels, uh, mobile apps are going to play a key role because more than 1 billion new consumers will be mobile only. So when any enterprise is looking at exploring a digital channel, they can't ignore mobile apps. Now, so having said that, the importance of mobile apps in today's scenarios, no one can ignore. Every enterprise has to go through that journey of creating a channel where the customers can interact through their mobile apps. Now, mobile apps have a lot of unique challenges. One is the importance of quality. The is much higher than any other channel, I would say. I mean, I'm not discounting the quality aspect on any other channel, but on mobile apps, one bad review can kill the mobile app download and the number of download that happens. So the importance of quality is very high here. And second is the speed at which you have to release the mobile apps, because there is so much of competition. You can't delay, or a production bug comes, you have to fix it immediately and then release it to the market. So the speed requirement is another challenge. And that we have seen can only be solved if the teams adopt DevOps practices. And within DevOps practices, what we are talking about is continuous testing. So what we see is any team right now, whether they are probably working on some other channel, but they will have to adopt to a mobile application as a project. They have to work on those. I mean, they have to bring mobile apps for their businesses. And within that, DevOps and continuous testing implementation is a key for success of their mobile apps in a longer duration. So we see DOPA in that case a right fit for us. The kind of audience that we see there will be very relevant to what we are planning to say. So that's the reason why we chose this conference, and we're very excited to kind of talk to that audience and put forward our points. So this session is about mobile app testing strategies for 2020. And as I said earlier, what we are seeing is a rapid adoption of mobile application as a digital channel, where uh, the testing is one of the biggest challenge any teams faces to make sure that the quality of app release is of highest standard. And second is they have to do it at a much faster speed than any other channel that they would have seen. So in that sense, quality at speed becomes a mantra for success. And quality at speed cannot be achieved without implementation of continuous testing and DevOps practices. So what I'm going to talk about is what is the journey that app team can take to achieve that continuous testing within their mobile application projects. And some of those concepts are generic, but there are quite a number of concepts which are very unique to mobile applications, because the challenges are also quite unique to mobile applications. So I'm going to talk about this journey of how an app team can start from very beginning and look to achieve continuous testing over a period of time. And what are those strategies, what are those steps that they can take to reach that level and make sure that their apps are released with highest quality, with the speed that their business demands. So as a entrepreneur, or as a uh, person who is passionate about developing a product which can solve the problem of a larger mass, or larger audience, I would say one of the mantra that I have always followed is think global, create something which is of highest quality, the best standard, so that the global audience can adopt it. So from the very beginning, when we started developing the product, we thought about creating the product which is global in nature. So that's one success mantra. And second is, I think, adoption of technology as early as possible in the cycle, be it product development or, through the product itself, we are asking people to adopt certain technology element. So every successful company that you see today, be it Google, Netflix, they are one of the earliest adopter of any new technology innovation that comes in the market. So to within our company as well, we have been able to adopt technologies like AI, ML much earlier than some of the other product companies. And similarly, we are bringing those elements when anyone adopts our products within their testing strategies. So two things: one is think global, has been our mantra, and second is adoption of technology as early as possible within the company, within the teams, is another mantra. As I said, so I think every entrepreneur will kind of talk about it. You identify with certain problems, right? And you have to be very passionate about solving those problems, come what may. So in my case, I think from the very beginning, solving problems within the testing industry has been passion, and it's like we live and we always breathe that problem all the time, right? So being passionate about a problem which you can identify with, because in an entrepreneurial journey you will go with a lot of ups and downs. There will be moments where you'll have self-doubt, but if you're passionate, you'll be able to cross those hurdles and make sure that you continue that journey. So I'm very passionate about the testing problem. Apart from the fact, I like building teams, working with people who are passionate about similar kind of problems. So that gives me a lot of kick, finding right kind of people working around me. So having right kind of team is another thing that clicks with me. And apart from that, I'm a very sporty in nature. So sports is another thing which really helped me. So apart from work, I do spend a lot of time watching sports, playing that myself as well. So that kind of helps me unwind and be fresh all the time. And that sporting spirits also helps you in your journey, whatever you do, be it entrepreneur or a professional. I think sportsman spirit is what we always need. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward for this opportunity. This is the first time where we are participating in DOPA conference. I hope this is going to be a long association for us.